I didn't mean to say it out loud. That was the problem. The throne room of the Zenith Dominion was never supposed to feel intimate. It was designed to overwhelm. A vast chamber of shimmering crystal walls, suspended platforms, and floating light structures that drifted like slow-moving stars. The ceiling curved into darkness, so deep it looked endless. The floor beneath my boots reflected everything, turning every step into a distorted echo of myself. And at the center of it all sat the queen. Not on a traditional throne. She didn't need one. She stood elevated on a platform of rotating energy rings, her presence commanding the space without effort. The alien delegates surrounding her were silent, tall beings of liquid metal, layered light, and geometric flesh. Every one of them radiated intelligence far beyond human comprehension. And me? I was there as a translator, a bridge between humanity and the Dominion. Officially, I was chosen for my linguistic research. Unofficially, I think they selected me because I was the only one who didn't panic when confronted with the unknown. But even I was not prepared for her. The queen's form shifted subtly, like gravity bending around a star. Her body was tall, elegant, luminous. Patterns of silver and violet flowed across her skin like living constellations. Her eyes were not eyes in the human sense, more like portals reflecting entire galaxies within them. And when she moved, the room adjusted. Not physically, politically, emotionally. Everything revolved around her. During the diplomatic meeting, the tension was already high. Humanity had recently entered formal contact with the Dominion after decades of distant observation. There had been misunderstandings, territorial disputes, accusations of interference. Now we were negotiating alliance terms. The air in the chamber hummed with translation fields. Every word spoken, human or alien, was converted instantly into universal cognitive resonance. It was a miracle of technology, and a trap for mistakes. I was standing near the edge of the platform, reviewing data streams on my wrist interface, when one of the Dominion emissaries made a remark about human unpredictability. I murmured without thinking. She's surprisingly graceful for someone who rules through fear. It was meant to be internal, a private observation, but the resonance field amplified it, and the chamber went silent. That's when I realized two things at once. First, the translation field was active on all channels. Second, the queen had turned her head slightly.
Toward me.
Middle. Time didn't stop. It slowed. Every alien in the chamber shifted their focus to me. Some tilted their heads. Others adjusted their luminescent cores. A few emitted low harmonic pulses that I instinctively understood as alert signals. My pulse spiked. I didn't. I began, but the translation field carried my voice across the entire hall. Her gaze locked onto mine. There was no anger in it, only curiosity. She descended from the energy platform with fluid precision, each step altering the lighting in the room. The floating structures dimmed as she approached. My throat felt dry. "You referred to me," she said. Her voice wasn't loud. It didn't need to be. It resonated through the chamber and inside my thoughts simultaneously. "Yes," I admitted. "Explain." The Dominion Council members watched silently. I felt like a specimen under observation. "I meant that you appear composed," I said carefully. "Controlled. That's not something easily achieved in leadership." A ripple of sound passed through the delegates. The queen stopped a few steps from me. "You assume fear is the foundation of my rule." "It's what my government believes," I replied. That was the truth. Human media painted the Dominion as expansionist, dominating, ruthless. She studied me longer now. And then something unexpected happened. She smiled. Not a human smile, but a subtle adjustment in the luminous patterns across her face. "You speak without protocol," she observed. I was thinking out loud. That is dangerous in this chamber. I'm beginning to realize that. Another ripple of reaction moved through the delegates, but she lifted one hand slightly. The room quieted instantly. Her authority wasn't enforced. It was absolute. And yet she was still looking at me. "Continue," she said. "I don't understand." "You formed an opinion," she replied. "Finish it." The weight of attention pressed down on me. This wasn't a casual diplomatic exchange anymore. This was personal. "You seem distant," I said carefully, "but not cold. There's a difference." The chamber held its breath. She tilted her head. "Explain the difference." "Coldness is absence," I said. "Distance can be protection." The air shifted. The lighting subtly brightened. The queen stepped closer until I could see the intricate energy patterns moving beneath her surface. "Protection from what?" she asked. The question felt heavier than gravity. "From vulnerability," I said honestly. The council murmured. I realized too late that I had crossed into forbidden territory, discussing emotional state in formal Dominion space. But she did not reprimand me. Instead, she turned slightly toward the council. "Leave us," she commanded. No one argued. Within moments, the chamber was empty except for her and me. The doors sealed. The silence became absolute. I felt suddenly very small. "You are not afraid," she observed. "I am," I admitted. "But I'm trying not to show it." "Why?" "Because words matter here." She paused, then said quietly, "They always matter." The lighting shifted again, dimmer now. More intimate. "Tell me," she said, "what did you mean by grace?" I swallowed. "It means strength without aggression." The queen considered that. "For generations," she said, "your species has interpreted dominance as safety. You believe fear maintains order." "That's not entirely wrong." "No," she agreed. "It is not wrong. It is incomplete." Her gaze deepened. "And you believe I rule through fear." "I believed that," I corrected. "And now?" Now the moment felt irreversible. "Now I think I may have misunderstood you." The chamber seemed to expand around us. Her voice softened. "Your words reached me," she said. "I'm sorry if they caused offense." They did not. That surprised me. "Then why am I here alone with you?" She stepped closer still. "Because you were honest." The word echoed. "Most species speak strategically in my presence. You spoke without intention." "I didn't mean to." "That," she replied, "is why it matters." For the first time, I noticed something unusual. The Dominion delegates were still outside the chamber, listening, and yet she had chosen privacy. "You are different," she said. "In what way?" "You see leadership as burden rather than superiority." "I think it is a burden." Her luminous patterns flickered gently. "Yes," she said, "it is." The chamber lights shifted again warmer. "I rule not through fear," she said quietly, "but through responsibility." Her confession felt heavier than any threat. "You carry the lives of billions," I said. "Yes." "And you trust them?" Another pause. Then she looked directly at me. "I do not trust blindly," she said, "but I observe carefully." "And what have you observed?" Her answer came without hesitation. "Your species is loud, emotional, unstable, but also imaginative, adaptive, capable of compassion under pressure." I blinked. "You've studied us closely." "Yes." "For how long?" Her gaze shifted slightly, almost reflective. "Long enough to wait for the right voice." The words settled between us. "My voice?" I asked. "Yes." I felt my pulse rise again. "Why?" She stepped even closer now, close enough that the energy field around her interacted with mine. "Because you did not speak to impress," she said. You spoke without calculation. I almost lost my job because of it. Perhaps, she replied gently, you gained something greater. The chamber lights dimmed once more. Outside, the council waited. Inside, the queen extended one luminous hand. Your words reached me, she said, and they changed my assessment. My stomach tightened. Is that good? She tilted her head. For you, yes. Meaning? She lowered her voice. I had prepared a response to human expansion. My heart stopped. And now, she paused. Now I reconsider. The implications hit me like a shockwave. You're not planning to invade, I said. I never was, she replied calmly. The realization spread slowly through me. Our governments had assumed hostility, but she had been observing, waiting, testing, and my offhand comment about grace had shifted something fundamental. What happens now? I asked. Her patterns shimmered brighter. Now, she said, we renegotiate understanding. The chamber doors opened automatically. The delegates re-entered cautiously. They sensed something had changed. The queen returned to her platform. But before ascending fully, she looked back at me. One final time. Your words reached me, she said again. And I listened. Then she turned away. Ending. The treaty negotiations resumed. But the atmosphere had shifted completely. Where there had been tension, there was now cautious optimism. The Dominion proposed collaboration rather than control. Joint research initiatives, cultural exchanges, shared defense agreements. Humanity had prepared for resistance. Instead, we received partnership. I was reassigned as senior liaison between Earth and the Dominion, officially because of my linguistic skill, unofficially because the Queen requested continuity. Months later, during a private communication session, she transmitted a single message. It wasn't formal. It wasn't political. It was personal. Your words altered trajectory, she said. I almost got us in trouble, I replied. Your honesty prevented it. I didn't think anyone would take me seriously. She responded with calm certainty. I did. The Queen's leadership style began subtly evolving afterward. Delegates reported increased transparency. Policy changes focused on diplomacy rather than expansion. The Dominion entered cooperative alliances with neighboring systems. All because of one moment, one sentence, one unintended observation. Sometimes I replay that day in my mind, standing in that vast hall, feeling small, feeling exposed, not knowing that my words were not just heard, but evaluated and remembered. I never intended to influence interstellar politics. I only spoke honestly, but honesty in the right place can reshape galaxies. The Queen later told me something that stays with me still. You believed your words were insignificant, she said. Yes. But they were not. Why? She answered simply. Because leadership listens when it is strong. The day my words reached the Queen became a turning point in history. Not through war, not through threat, but through conversation. And I learned something that no academy could teach. In a universe filled with power, it is not always strength that changes destiny. Sometimes it is a single sentence spoken without fear. And sometimes, if you are fortunate, the Queen is listening.